I'm Stephen A. Welcome now at number 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show, here with you for the next hour over the airwaves of ESPN Radio. The number to call up, as always, is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Lots of stuff to continue to get into today, no question about that. And I will definitely continue to do so. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, which is being brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Lots of stuff to get into. And I'll get back into Mike Tomlin and this ridiculousness of minority owners for the Pittsburgh Steelers wanting him out is so insulting. It's just so insulting. It really rakes my damn nerves. I'm not going to lie to you, to say the least. It really, really gets to me. No doubt about that. We'll get into that, of course. We'll also get into, we'll revisit the whole image issue, supposedly, that the NBA has, which is bogus to me. There's no image issue as it pretends, as it relates to the, NBA. It's an incredible, global, iconic brand. You got that going on. You got a lot of guys that contribute a lot to the community. You got that going on. They don't deserve there being this perception of an image problem because stuff almost went down at the Staples Center the other night and Aaron Aflalo threw a haymaker at a member of the Orlando Magic last night. The pronunciation of his name is what I struggle with, which is why I did not say it. Let me say this. There's no image problem. If there's an image problem with the NBA, if there's an image problem with the NFL, there's an image problem with the NHL. There's an image problem with Major League Baseball. Unless you want to address that, don't come to me with that. Don't come to me with it. I ain't trying to hear it. They fight in the National Hockey League all the time. Y'all ain't saying anything. Dugouts empty and melees take place in Major League Baseball. Nobody says anything. They get to police themselves half the time and unapologetically look you in the face and tell you, you know what? Hey, we'll handle it ourselves. We police ourselves. They don't want an authority recognized as having dominion over them. And they've been successful in doing so because unlike the other sports, they have a strong players union who negotiate great collective bargaining agreements. Why? Because you got a lot of these players, by and large, who buffer themselves against the influence of owners because they save their money and they can hold out longer. Want to make that argument? I'm all ears. But that's about it. I don't want to hear this stuff about an image problem with the NBA. Not when you have these individuals who are stellar citizens and incredible contributors to their communities. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. 888-SAY-ESPN is the number to call up. That's 888-729-3776. I got to get to the subject of Mr. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, for those of you who don't know, is this dude who's about 6'11". Came out of Kentucky, won a national title, delivered a national title for the John Calipari at the University of Kentucky as a freshman. Came into the draft as a number 1 overall pick. Ladies and gentlemen, he's an all-star. And for the second consecutive road game, he dropped 40-plus. In case you missed his game against the New York Knicks the other night, he showed up at Madison Square Garden, dropped 48 and 17 on the New York Knicks and Kristaps Porzingis. So much for that theory, that comparison. All you Kristaps Porzingis lovers, and I like him. But I told you he wasn't a number 1 option because I told you he was a little bit too frail, a little bit too thin. And once Carmelo Anthony left, he was going to see a lot of pressure, physical pressure applied to this brother, and he wasn't going to be ready for it. I tried to tell y'all. But y'all didn't want to listen. I said he's damn good, but he's no number 1 option. He ain't got it in him. You wouldn't listen. Well, Anthony Davis showed up the other night and reminded him of what a number 1 option is. By the way, after dropping 48 and 17 on the Knicks, Anthony Davis then went to TD Bank Garden in Boston, Massachusetts last night, playing against the number 1 seeded Boston Celtics with Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Al Horford and all of these boys. And what did Anthony Davis do? 25 in the first half. He finished with 45 and 16. Ladies and gentlemen, on this year, he is averaging 27 and 10 on 56% shooting. Anthony Davis is the real deal. I don't want to hear all of this Greek freak stuff. Okay? Because contrary to what you want to believe, and contrary to what you want to recognize, I got news for y'all. For all of y'all out there that want to just dismiss Anthony Davis and act like he's just another player, he's been in the league forever, blah, blah, blah. No. Jonathan, Kat, could y'all do me a favor, please? Could y'all go out and get Anthony Davis's AARP card? Could you grab it, please? Because everybody talks about him like he's been around for ages. No, I want one of these young guys. Ben Simmons is 19 or 20 years old. The Greek Freak is 21, 22 years old. Oh, my God, Stephen, what are you talking about? Stop the presses. Stop the presses. Anthony Davis is about to retire. Did y'all hear the news? He's been around forever. He's some senior citizen that's beyond his prime, and his career is over. Did y'all hear the news? Anthony Davis is 24 years old. 24. 24. He turns 25 March 11th. That's Anthony Davis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's in his 6th year. He's a senior citizen. Did you hear the news? Why would we pick Anthony Davis? My Lord. Oh my goodness. He's running out of time. He's 24. 24. And oh, by the way, since his rookie year, 20.8 points, 24.4, 24.3. Last year, he averaged 28 points, 11.8 rebounds on 50% shooting for the season. And this year, I'm sorry, guys, gals, didn't you hear the news? He's slipping. He's only averaging 27.2 a game. By the way, the New Orleans Pelicans are 23 and 20. DeMarcus Cousins is his teammate. So is Jrue Holiday. And Anthony Davis is a big-time name because I got news for you. There should be 2 competitors going all out to get him. The Boston Celtics should do everything they can to get him. For 2 reasons. Number 1, getting him, even if it's for Al Horford and a Jason Tatum, getting Anthony Davis will make the Boston Celtics the favorites in the Eastern Conference. That's right, I said it. Anthony Davis with Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown and the rest of the Boston crew? Please. Yes, it would. And if not this year, definitely next year once Gordon Hayward came back. And oh, by the way, if you don't get in Boston, but you land in Cleveland, if Anthony Davis somehow, some way were to land in Cleveland, because Kobe Altman, under pressure to get something done, by the way, with the Cavs being old and slow and allergic to playing defense, evidently, Anthony Davis would have landed in Cleveland. And I'm not advocating for Kevin. Look, I love Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love is a really good player that doesn't get enough credit for what he brings to the table. I genuinely like Kevin Love. I really do. But if I got a chance to get Anthony Davis for Kevin Love and another player, you think I'm not doing it? Are you insane? And could you imagine LeBron James with Anthony Davis? Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. So much for the Golden State Warriors being the favorites, because I'm here to tell you, LeBron with Anthony Davis is a title. Without a doubt. He's that real. He is that real. And you want me to tell you what possibly could be standing in the way? LeBron James. LeBron James may very well have the keys to Anthony Davis landing in Cleveland. LeBron James may actually be the one preventing it from happening. How do I know this? I'll tell you in a minute. 888-SAY-ESPN is the number to call up. That's 888-729-3776. More of the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio. in a minute.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Hey! I got soul. I'm super bad. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. It's presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $620. Number to call up to the Stephen A. Smith Show, as always, is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Before I get back to the calls. If you are the Cleveland Cavaliers, here's what you need to understand. If you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, LeBron James has nothing against Isaiah Thomas or Jamie Crowder. He didn't know them, got respect for them, certainly has respect for their game. LeBron James, according to what I was told, didn't want the trade to take place. LeBron James told the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm ready to ride the water with the horses that I have, meaning Kyrie Irving. Don't trade him. Dan Gilbert's mentality was simple. I can get draft picks. I can get younger. I can position myself to compete into the future. Why should I just stand pat and do what you want to do when you're not willing to commit to me? So Dan Gilbert asked LeBron James to sign a 3 to 5 year deal, committing to the Cavaliers. LeBron refused to do so. And one of the reasons why there's dissension within the ranks right now is because you have players going out there to compete, but knowing they're not good enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. So essentially you're playing for runner-up. You have an owner who doesn't seem to care because he refuses to budge in terms of doing what's necessary to improve the team, to appease LeBron, because he believes he's appeased LeBron enough. They've had the highest payroll, or one of the top 2 highest payrolls, since LeBron has returned to Cleveland. They've been to the finals each year, but he's fulfilled his end of the bargain by giving LeBron what LeBron swears he needed. And now he's saying, I got to do all of this? I got to really do all of this? I got to make another sacrifice? Hell no. Hell no. So as a result of that, he's saying, I'm not budging. I got a call from one of my boys yesterday telling me to look into it. I looked into it. I talked to the people who were necessary. This is what I found out. So you got a situation where there is this belief that Dan Gilbert is not interested in improving the team. The players know it. And a GM like Kobe Altman, who's a rookie executive, by the way, because he's a GM for the first time, and he's stuck in the middle because he's got to make things happen to improve the team, but he's got an owner like Dan Gilbert to work for. So I bring all of that up to crystallize this for you. Do you believe that Anthony Davis with LeBron James delivers you a championship? I believe it does. After this season, Anthony Davis is at 25, 27, and 28 million per, which for a superstar is chump change in this day and age, this NBA economy, because of the collective bargaining agreement that was signed and a new TV deal that's got a bunch of money coming the way of each individual owner. So you're LeBron James. If you really, really, really want to win a championship, why don't you tell Dan Gilbert in Cleveland you'll commit to the next 3 years? I'm telling you right now that if LeBron James said to Dan Gilbert, go out there and get Anthony Davis for me and I'll stay the next 3 years, I believe Dan Gilbert will exhaust every measure to get Anthony Davis. Can't say he'll definitively get Anthony Davis because the New Orleans Pelicans got to work with you and give him up. And I don't know what you have to give. You got to throw Kevin Love into the mix. Outside of Kevin Love, you put some parts with it, and I don't know if that would be enough for the New Orleans Pelicans. But if Anthony Davis insists on being let out, if you're willing to unload Kevin Love, you could possibly get a third team involved to make something happen. My point to you is that this all could potentially be contingent on LeBron James. Because what this really comes down to is LeBron James' refusal to commit to Cleveland past this year, which is ultimately what irks the nerves of Dan Gilbert, because once again, you're threatening to hold the organization hostage. And why should he commit to that? Now, I'd say Dan Gilbert, LeBron James committing to you for years to come should have nothing to do with your decision to get Anthony Davis if you have a chance to get Anthony Davis. Because I got news for you. If LeBron James were to decide to up and leave, Anthony Davis ain't a bad cornerstone piece to have. If I'm Cleveland, I would want that. But I'm telling you right now, if LeBron made it clear he wanted Anthony Davis, and that got to Anthony Davis, which it would, and Cleveland was willing to do whatever it takes, I'm telling you, Cleveland will be willing to do whatever it takes. Whether they pull it off or not is contingent on what New Orleans would want. But Cleveland will be willing to do whatever it takes. I believe Boston has more assets than Cleveland to offer. But you never know. You just never know. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Chris in L.A., you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen A., good morning, good afternoon. Real quick, two things. I wanted to touch on the image problem and regarding the NBA and the NFL. Of course not. I don't agree. They have an image issue, but unfortunately, Stephen A., it's the world we live in. The black athlete, as you know, is under a different microscope. The whole Coach Tomlin thing, and I'm a Baltimore fan, so let me preface my comments by saying that I don't agree with it. You went down the list of his resume, and still they won him out. It's just sad. You remember a couple months ago, Stephen A., when Durant brought the quote when he was saying if he wasn't dribbling a basketball, what would he be? Well, I think he knows what he would be. That's my first point.
Who's this he?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who's this he? Who are you talking about?
Kevin Durant, the comment he made a few months ago regarding if he wasn't dribbling a basketball, what would he be?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I was saying, you never know because he is dribbling a basketball. So that's my first point. And my second point is about the whole Anthony Davis thing. I was listening to you in regards to Dan Gilbert not wanting to be held hostage. I really don't blame him because of the whole LeBron thing. But if he does happen to go to Cleveland, Stephen A., I have to disagree with you. I don't believe that's still enough to get them over the top with Golden State because the pieces around LeBron and Anthony are still not good enough because the guys don't put forth the effort and they're not willing to make the necessary sacrifices to get them over the top. And that's my opinion, though.
No, I think that LeBron with Anthony Davis is a boatload of problems for the Golden State Warriors. They do defend, make no mistake about it, because they're long and they're athletic and they move their feet and they get out and they're committed. But when you talk about Anthony Davis in combo with LeBron James, you're talking about two surreal, old-world talents that you're going to have to deal with. And I think the other parts around the Cleveland Cavaliers, you got to remember, it wouldn't be a situation right now where everybody wants and deserves a piece of the basketball. You know what? It's LeBron and Anthony Davis. And look, y'all, the rest of y'all figure out and play some damn defense. That's what it would be about. And you know what? You can't sit up there and say definitively because Golden State are such marksmen that they could shoot and they get it done. But let me tell you something right now. The road would be a hell of a lot tougher. And at the very least, it would be a pick'em. You can't definitively say that this Golden State's team would beat a LeBron and Anthony Davis team. You can't do it. Can't do it.
Okay, Steve, real quick question there. Let's say they do get Anthony Davis. They get to the championship, they lose. Does LeBron stay?
If they get to the championship and lose?
And lose with Anthony Davis.
Well, that's the whole point. We don't know. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. We don't know. Only LeBron James knows that, which is what makes this all interesting. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. More to Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it!
No matter what the weather is outside, you can always brighten the day with 1-800-Flowers.com. When you order a dozen multicolored roses for only $29.99, you'll get another dozen absolutely free. So just go to 1-800-Flowers.com, please. It's 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN. Back to the calls we go right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Let's go to Marty in L.A. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen, how you doing? You ready for the NFL this Sunday?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hey, man, listen, I agree with a lot of things you say, but to say that the Vikings are a very unlucky team. That play was not
You mean lucky.
unlucky.
You mean lucky, not unlucky. Lucky.
Lucky.
Yes.
Yes. That was not a
Yes,
lucky
it was.
play.
Yes, it was.
Well, let me tell you, first of all, the pass was up there. They could not intercept it, and Diggs grabbed it. By the way, if he caught it and went out of bounds,
The pass and the catch were not luck. The touchdown was luck. The man closed his eyes and completely missed the tackle when all he had to do was let the man catch the ball and tackle him, and the game is over. He didn't even have to tackle him; just held him up.
He didn't want to get a penalty.
It's a touchdown. No. Not if he would have caught the ball first. If he'd have caught the ball first, okay, and then tackled him, he could have slowed up, let the man catch the ball, and just held him. Game's over. It's luck. Absolute luck.
If we don't know if.
Look, man, you don't know either. The fact of the matter is, you don't know whether it was luck or gift. The throw was a good throw. The catch was a good catch. The actual touchdown was luck, in my opinion.
The Vikings all year, man. I've been here from the beginning, telling you about Case Keenum. You've been dogging him,
and I still will. He's an average quarterback at best. Congratulations. There's nothing ultra special to me about Case Keenum. I still stand by it. I don't give a damn if he wins the next two games. I still will tell you, Case Keenum is an average quarterback. He's been a journeyman his entire career. Lightning in a bottle. Congratulations. I still stand by that, Marty.
If Dennis Green was alive today, he would like Case Keenum.
Okay. Well, that's saying a lot. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Benjamin in Philly, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hear me on this, brother. This calling for Mike Tomlin's job is absolute garbage. Mm-hmm. They lost because they were undisciplined, yes. But listen to Sean Payton. Clearly also has an undisciplined team during a timeout. Doesn't teach his rookie how and when he should make a tackle. But listen to these stats. Sean
Payton or the defensive coordinator?
Well, I mean, both of them. It all comes down to the head coach. And Sean Payton has had 4 7-9 records when Mike Tomlin has gone 8-8 at worst only 2 times in his career. Sean Payton has identical stats nearly, 105 and 71 loss.
Actually, Tomlin has better stats, better numbers.
Exactly. 105 and 71, 7-4 in the playoffs, 1 Super Bowl victory. Mike Tomlin is 116 and 60, 8-6 in the playoffs, and 1 Super Bowl victory. But they also, I believe, went to a Super Bowl and lost. They've been to more AFC championship games, and I would argue Drew Brees is better than Ben Roethlisberger. So why are people talking about firing Mike Tomlin and not Sean Payton?
Very good point.
Clapping and taunting fans on the sideline.
Very good point. I don't have a problem with that. I like that comparison. Doesn't bother me at all. It works for me, Benjamin. Appreciate the call. Sean in Inglewood, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? 2 things. First hour, you let Keyshawn get away with comparing Case Keenum to Aaron Rodgers at the end there. I didn't like that. But,
I didn't even hear that part, but go ahead.
Okay. But overall, why do the Pelicans want to even give up AD? How come they can't just build around what they have?
It's not about wanting to give him up. It's fear that he's hell bent on leaving.
Okay, so he's not happy along with Cousins, I guess, from sources.
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because they can have a champion caliber team if they just get a couple of shooters around there, and I think Rondo can take them to the promised land.
No. I love Rondo a lot, and by the way, I agree. No disrespect whatsoever to Isaiah Thomas, but I totally agree with Rondo's statement about honoring him having him honored by the Boston Celtics. Isaiah Thomas was a damn good player. He was a terrific player yesterday. For Boston last year. Averaged 28.9 a game. Let me tell you something right now. Isaiah Thomas is miniature and as great as he is phenomenal. This man ain't on Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, 15 years with Boston, a title, 2 trips to the NBA Finals, wins a title. This man has logged over 40,000 minutes. He's played nearly 1,100 games. And Isaiah Thomas shows up for 2.5 years. He averages 28.9 points for 1 season, gets bounced out in the first round the first 2 years that he was there. Last year, lost in the semifinals, in the conference finals. I'm sorry, this man deserves a celebration. You better stop yourself. I don't want to hear that. And I'm not trying to say that you don't respect him and you don't sit there and play the video tribute and all of that stuff. But his chance was January 3rd when he showed up. And he not only did not play, he didn't want the celebration and tried to use the excuse that his family wasn't in attendance. Oh, so now your family has to be there for a video tribute. They don't have television? Are you kidding me? Now, I understand if you're honoring him and you're retiring his jersey to the rafters and there's some big halftime ceremony, but a video tribute during the game. He didn't even want the Celtics to do that. Oh, but now you get it when Paul Pierce shows up? No, does not work that way. Now, I appreciate Isaiah Thomas coming up and saying the big brouhaha over it. He'd rather it not happen. Well, congratulations on that. I'm glad you came to that conclusion. Because you shouldn't want to be honored on the same day that Paul Pierce is going to be honored. It's a different level to this. And I like Isaiah Thomas. He's underpaid. He's been underappreciated. And in today's NBA economy, he's worth over $150 million in today's NBA economy. With the new television contract, with the elevation of the cap, with the money other dudes are getting paid, Isaiah Thomas deserves to get paid $150 million. But $200+ million? Like you're a superstar? No. I need more than 1 year, bro. I need more than 1 year. And oh, by the way, not only do I need more than 1 year, I need to make sure your hips are fully healed. I need to make sure you ain't going to be the younger, shorter black version of Phil Jackson. I need your hips right. So I need your hips right. I need you to continue to average 25 plus. And I need to see, I'm talking about 200 million. I'm not talking about the 150 because we got dudes getting paid in the NBA that can't play. So if Isaiah Thomas can get 150, God bless him. But you ain't Kyrie. You ain't LeBron. You ain't Anthony Davis. You ain't Russell Westbrook. You're not these people. So I'm sorry. I cannot give you that kind of love. I just can't do it. So Rondo, to get back to Rondo's point, Rajon Rondo was absolutely right. No disrespect. But Rondo said it best. This is the Boston Celtics we're talking about here. This ain't the Phoenix Suns. This is the Boston Celtics. Talk about 17, 18 titles. Only the Yankees in all of sports annals has had more success as a franchise. And what Rondo is saying is, what, we award people and celebrate people who got us to a conference finals? That's what we do? That's not what we do with the Boston Celtics. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. There's no way around that. No matter what anybody says. 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Please, I'm looking out for you. We all family. You're my listeners. I don't want you to hurt your own feelings by calling me up to disagree with the point that I just made. I don't want to do that to you. So don't call up here if you're going to get because you're going to get your feelings hurt. You call up here trying to disagree with me about Isaiah Thomas and Rondo, because Rondo's right. You're going to get your feelings hurt if you call up talking about how Tomlin deserves to go. You're going to get your feelings hurt if you're going to tell me that the NBA has an image problem. So don't do it. Don't say Stephen A. wasn't looking out for you, because clearly I am. Your calls to close out the show in a minute. You're listening live to Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it!
Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio. Let's get back to the phones while we're running out of time at 888-SAY-ESPN. Tony in San Diego, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, man?
Hey, hello, Stephen A.
Yes.
This is Tony. Tony, long time listener. I'm going to be real quick, man. I'm a service member out here in San Diego. You and Max and Molly were down here for Veterans Day weekend. Well, I appreciate you, man. I'm about to retire 24 years of naval service ending this coming September. And I got to tell you, bro, who you are and what you do for us as service people and in our own community especially, man, has kept me motivated. And it keeps a lot of us service members motivated. I tell you what, there's been times I was on deployment overseas, man. In the middle of the night, I'll turn on ESPN Radio just to hear you. So I want to say thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, my man. I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, so I got to throw that in there to kind of mess with you right now. But I love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it how you got 250-plus people listening to you now. We know you're doing big things, and I'm going to say it right now before I get off this phone. I hope you run for president one day. You'll have my vote.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. I doubt I'll ever do that. I can tell you that much. I'm not a politician, but I thank you so much. I appreciate the love. And more importantly, thank you for your love and your service to this country. Thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate those comments. Let's go to Wes in Connecticut. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Wes?
What's up, Stephen A? How you doing?
Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the NBA image thing. I think it's laughable because I can remember a time where people were mad about Iverson and other players sitting on the bench with their jewels and their baggy clothes, and then they made a dress code for the NBA. And in the 80s, wasn't nobody screaming about the NBA having an image problem when everybody was fighting for real.
Right.
But to piggyback off what you were saying about the MLB and NHL, at least the NHL has tried to make some strides in trying to stop the fighting and stuff like that. But as far as sports go, I think the MLB's got the biggest image problem when you could throw a projectile at somebody's head 100 miles an hour and possibly kill them, and nobody's saying nothing about it. And they also have a problem
not only
with
that,
putting up.
and they got the license to police themselves. They'll literally look you and me dead in the face and say, "We got this. We don't need any outside interference. We got this." And it's tacitly allowed. Yeah, the commissioner will come down and hand down a suspension. But for the most part, it's allowed. You don't see any kind of uproar from the public over players fighting or throwing 95-mile-per-hour fastballs at people's heads. You don't see that. You don't see it.
I think that's the biggest problem in sports. I think NBA has nothing to do with it. I think MLB has a bad image, and the NBA thing is very laughable.
Right.
And last thing, I'm a big Eagles fan, and I've been waiting ever since what Chip Kelly did to my team, and I thought we would never be in this position again for a good long time. I'm hoping that we win this next game.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Listen, I'm rooting for y'all. I hope Philadelphia wins Sunday, but I got to tell you something. If Carson Wentz hadn't gone down, I'd pick y'all to win it all. I think you'd have won the Super Bowl.
Already know, but I got to make do with Nick Foles.
You got to make do with Nick Foles. I don't think you won in a Super Bowl with him, but you might get there. Appreciate the call, man. Daryl in Virginia, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
What's going on, Stephen A? I called you yesterday about the Cavaliers, suggested they should get Roy Hibbert. But I called you. Yeah, I called you to apologize, man.
I was getting ready to ban you. Go ahead and apologize. Apologize on national TV. Apologize right now.
Stephen A. I apologize.
All right. What's the wife's name? Hold on, Daryl. What is the wife's name?
Abria.
Abria?
Yes, sir.
You tell Abria, you go, girl. Get your man to call up here and apologize. You go, girl.
I forgot
now, go
that
ahead,
he
Daryl.
recorded 3 games where he didn't get a single point or a single rebound.
That's right.
I forgot all about that.
That's right.
So she told me I had to call you and apologize.
Now you go tomorrow and you could call back. Your banishment is over since Abria got you to call and apologize. You go, girl. That's what I'm talking about here. Daryl, thank you for the call. The wife had to make the wife knew more about Roy Hibbert than you. The wife knew more about Roy Hibbert than you. Good Lord, Daryl, get it together. Get it together. I'm only playing. Big Z in Missouri, real quick, brother. You live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
Appreciate you taking my call. I want to say this.
You only got a minute. You only got 45 seconds. Go ahead.
LeBron in high school was better than Jordan. When he entered the NBA, he was better than Jordan. He brought his team to the finals, younger than MJ, versus the worst cast ever. So he's in his 15th season.
MJ went to college. MJ went to college and served 3 years. LeBron came straight out of high school. And don't tell me for 1 second you would pick LeBron over MJ. Don't do it. Don't do it.
They were same age, Stephen A. He was still better. He carried the hype better.
Hey, Big Z. Have a nice life. Have a nice life. You take it easy. I'm not going to listen to such drivel. LeBron James better than Michael Jordan? Have you lost your mind? Why are these people bothering me? Why are these people bothering me? Knowing that I'm in a good mood, the show was about to come to an end, and you would bother me with such nonsense? Such nonsense, Big Z?